Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome everyone in today's class for the first intermediate grade. Our textbook is Super Gold 2 and today we're going to cover expansions from units 1 until unit 4. And today is the first lesson, which is language review. This lesson will be presented by me, teacher Mazen Al-Harbi, and the sign language by Mr. Salih Al-Ajan. So let's begin. Our objectives for today's lesson. In today's lesson, we are going to review vocabulary for jobs from Unit 1 and also grammar from Unit 4, questions with the like and infinitive. And also the second one is we're going to review vocabulary for everyday activities and the grammar questions and answer about time from Unit 3. And also we're going to review questions and answers with the model can from Unit 4 and vocabulary for activities. And lastly, we're going to review the frequency adverbs from Unit 3 and review affirmative and negative sentences with can. So let's begin. So now I would like you please to open your books on page 34. I would like you to open your books on page 34. So on page 34, I would like you to have a look at the pictures you can see on your books. I would like you to have a look at the pictures you can see. You can see a picture of a website designer, an artist, and carpenter, a doctor, and a veterinarian. And also you can see other professions and other jobs. It's important to have a look at them because here we have a survey that I would like you to use to answer. What is this survey about? So answer the question and use tick or use the check mark to answer. So just ask about yourself. Do you like to do any of these activities? If you do, then put here a tick or a check mark. If you don't, then put no. Why? Because this is a survey about you to learn more about yourself and also to know what is the kind of job that you would like to do in the future. So for example, do you like to be with people? Do you like to be with people? Number 2, do you like to work with computers? Number 3, do you like to work outdoors? And number 4, do you like to make things? And number 5, do you like to sit at a desk all day? And number 6, do you like to cook? Number 7, do you like to drive vehicles, cars or buses, etc.? Number 8, do you like to draw? Number 9, do you like to work with plants or animals? Number 10, do you like to write stories? Number 11, do you like to talk on the phone? And lastly, number 12, do you like to solve problems? So what I would like you to do is to go to these phrases one by one and tick the things that you like or the things that you would like to do. For example, do you like to be with people? If the answer is yes, then here you put a tick mark. Do you like work with computers? Here you can say yes. And this is only an example of my own. I'm going to check the things that I like. So, do you like to work outdoors? For me, this is a no. I don't like to work outdoors. Do you like to make things? Yes, making things is great. And do you like to sit at a desk all day? This is, of course, no. I like to move. And do you like to cook? No, I don't like to cook. And do you like to drive vehicles, cars and buses? Yes, I do. And number 8, do you like to draw? Yes, sometimes I would like to draw. And number 9, do you like to work with plants or animals? Yes, I like. And do you like to write stories? Sometimes, yes. And do you like to talk on the phone? No, I don't. And lastly, do you like to solve problems? Yes, I do. So here, you can have similar answers to this. You can just read these phrases and put a check mark on the things that you like to do. Okay? And why is this? Because when you finish, now we'll move on to the other step, which is in a group, try to share your answers. Try to share your answers, and when you do, try to answer these questions. The first one is, what jobs are good for you? what jobs are good for you. So if you like to be with people, or you like to help people, and you like to stay outdoors, maybe it's better that you be a doctor or a carpenter. And if you like, for example, to sit on a desk all day, then maybe a website designer is good for you. So just when you answer this question, or when you answer the survey, you can have a better idea about what jobs is suitable for you and what are the things that you would like to do. So what jobs is good for you, and what jobs are good for you, and what do other group members think? So talk about talk to your the group you have, and say that, for example, I like to sit all day, I don't like to work on a desk, I don't like to work outdoors, I don't like to be with people or to be with animals or plants. Maybe they can think that you can be a designer, or you can be in a profession that uses computers all the time. So just share your ideas and answers with the group, so they may give you a better idea about what is the perfect job for you. And also, do they agree on a job? And it's very important that you can say whether if all of them agree on one job that is suitable for you or no. Each one of them has its different opinion. And lastly, do you agree with them? So when you think of the job that is suitable for you and you share it with the group, so do they agree on one job? And if they do you agree with them that this job that they agreed on is the perfect job for you? So just think of this question when you finish the survey. It will give you a better idea about the perfect job for you and the job that is suitable for you. Next, to write down the schedule, then interview your classmate whose schedule is most like yours. So here we have an interesting schedule where we can here talk about the time of doing all of these activities. Here we have certain activities that we usually do during a day or during a week. And what we need to do here is we're going to write down the time that each one of us is doing that activities. When we finish, we'll go to interview other people, maybe a family member or a friend or even a classmate, and ask them about what time do they do these activities, and we write down the time here. So let's read first the activities. So what time do you usually get up? And what time do you usually eat breakfast? And what time do you usually leave for school? And what time do you usually eat lunch? Have math class, have science class, eat dinner, and do your homework, or go to bed and get up on Saturday. So here we have 10 different activities. Just write down the time that you're doing all of these activities. Here I wrote an example for you. So what time do you usually get up? I usually get up at 6:30 a.m. And what time do I eat breakfast? I eat breakfast at 7 a.m. And what time I leave for school? I usually leave school at 7:15 a.m. And what time I eat lunch? I usually eat lunch at 1:30 p.m. And what time I usually have math class? 4 o'clock p.m. And what time I have science class? It's 5 p.m. And what time I usually eat dinner? It's at 8 p.m. And what time I do my homework? At 9 p.m. And what time I go to bed? It's 11 p.m. And what time I get up on Saturday? It's 9 a.m. So here, this is an example of me. Okay, now what should I do? And be careful, because you're going to do the same. Here I should go to ask any family member or a classmate and friend, and write down his name here and ask him the same question by saying, what time do you usually get up? Or what time do you usually leave for school? Or what time do you usually have math class? So I wrote, for example, my friends. Here I have Ali's schedules, and I'm going to interview also Ahmed, and I'm going to interview Nasser. So the only remaining step here is I ask them these questions and write down the time the time they are doing all of these activities, and I can compare between my schedule and theirs. So this is an interesting exercise to do if you like to compare the timing and the schedule between you and your friends. Now, the other exercise we have for today is that I would like to find people in your class who can do the following things and write down their names. So here we have more than 20 activities, and what we need to do here is to read each activities, and by interviewing or asking our classmates or family members or even friends about these activities and write down the name of a person who can do any of these activities. So let's first read the activities, and then we can write down the names of the people who can do them. So the first one is find a person that can ski. Find a person that can draw. Find a person who is good at sports. And find a person who can repair a car. And find a person who is good, a high-tech designer. And find a person who can play basketball and can ride a horse, can play chess, who is a good actor, who can drive, who is good at math, who can ice skate, who can write stories, who can rollerblade, who is a good teacher, who can present well, who can stand on his or her hands, who can take photographs, who can use computer software, who can sew, who is good at science, who can ride a motorcycle, who can cook, who can speak two languages, who can tell jokes. Yes, these are a lot of activities, but it's fun. Try it to interview people around you, a family member, and ask them about these activities and just write down the names of people who can do them. So I did a simple interview with my friends, and I said that I asked my friend Ali, he said that he can draw, and my friend Ahmed, he said that he is good at sport, he likes to play a lot, and also my friend Nasser, he said that he can play basketball usually at every weekend. So here you can have the same. You can ask people around you about these different activities and write down their names for the activities that they can do. Here next we have exercise E. Choose 4 activities from the chart and write how often do you do them. Use always, usually, sometimes, or never. So these are the adverbs of frequency that we usually use, and we're going to use them with the activities that we have here. For example, I never drive a car. I never drive a car. So never here is one of the frequency adverbs that we use, and drive a car is the activities that we have in the previous exercise. So let's choose these activities or these adverbs and we use them with the activities that we just read. So the first one is, I always tell jokes when I hang out with friends. I always tell jokes when I hang out with friends. Number 2, I usually play basketball. I usually play basketball. And I sometimes sew with my grandmother. I sometimes sew with my grandmother. And number 4, I never play chess with Adil. I never play chess with Adil. So here I used always, usually, sometimes, and never. And I use it with the activities for the previous exercise. Now, the last exercise we have for today is write 2 activities you can do at your school and 3 that you cannot do. So you can write down the activities that you can do and 3 or 1 activities that you cannot do at your school. So here we can think as many activities as we would like. Here we have an example. I can practice with a friend at school, or you can say, I can't play tennis at my school. So just think of the activities, of the actions that you can do inside of your school. Right? Something you can do and something you cannot do. So the first example here we have, I can play football. This is something that I can do. I can play football. And we can say, for the things that we cannot do, we can say, for example, I can play football at my school and I can't play basketball at my school. So you see, here are the two activities that we can do. One of them we can do and the other we cannot do. I can play football, but I can't play basketball at my school. The second one, I can speak English. In my school or at my school, I can speak English, but I can't speak Chinese. At my school, I can speak English, but I can't speak Chinese. So here we have an activity that we can do and the other that we cannot do at my school. The third one here we have is, I can't use computer softwares. I can't use computer softwares, but I can use computer games at my school. So here also we have two activities. One we can do and the other we cannot do at my school. So the third one is, I can't use computer softwares at my school, but I can use computer games. So you can write both of them in this sentence. And the fourth one, I can draw two pictures. I cannot draw two pictures, but I can draw fruit. I cannot draw two pictures. Two pictures is hard for me, but I can draw fruits. So here you have 4 examples on writing down the things that either you can do and you cannot do at your school. So let's remind you of them again. The first one, I can play football, and you can add, but I can't play basketball at my school. The second one, I can speak English, and you can add, but I cannot speak Chinese at my school. The third one, I can't use computer softwares, and you can add, but I can use computer games. And the fourth one, I can draw two pictures, and you can add, but I can draw an apple, a fruit, or any example that you would like to add. So here it's very important that we know the difference between the activities that we can do either in our school and we cannot do. So as we said, this model is very important, and we usually use them in, when we have the verbs that do not have any change. So when we use can, as we said, we always leave the verb as it is, and we do not make any changes to the verbs. Okay? And before we leave, don't forget to check the pages, page 105 and also page 106. And why? Because there is a review of grammar and vocabulary presented in units from 1 until unit 4. So on these 2 pages, you will see a lot of grammar exercises and also vocabularies that could cover units from the first unit until the 4th unit of our book, Super Goal 2. So it's very important to check them. After doing the exercise here, we have in language expansion, language review, and as it's very important just to grasp and have a better knowledge of the previous unit. And now we have reached the end of our lesson. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.